everybody, Tia Torres here with another video from Convicts Anonymous. First, let me apologize again for this grainy video. We're having a storm outside and I live super remote. Hopefully in the next couple of weeks, I'm going to get a new laptop and we'll solve this problem. But for now, it is what it is. So today I want to talk about corresponding with an inmate, where to find them and how to do it, and is it safe? So writing an inmate, I mean, I've been doing it for 35 or so years. Um, there's a couple of ways when you want to start out connecting with one. And the first place you go is the internet. You know, they have all kinds of websites for prison pen pals. I think the most popular one is writeaprisoner.com. I know, I hate the word prisoner, but it is what it is. But just do a quick Google search and you'll find all kinds of websites on the topic. Again, it's a matter of personal preference as to which website you pick. If there are any websites out there that are charging you, don't do that. There's plenty of them out there that do not. But you know, you go on there, you see pictures. It's almost like going on Match.com or Tinder or any of those, or FarmersOnly.com. I'm not saying I've been there. You see pictures, right? That's what you do when you go on these dating websites, or for whatever reason you want to go on them. You see a picture and you scroll through, you find a picture you like, and then there is the profile. Okay. Most of the time they're going to put their story. A lot of it is going to be about how they were out in the free world, things that they like, things that they enjoy, what their hopes and dreams are for when they get out. If they're getting out, some of them will actually include their story on how they ended up in prison. And then, depending on the website, they will list their crimes or crime of why they are currently incarcerated. Now, in today's world of technology, back in my day, you just wrote a letter. But now, a lot of the prisons allow you to email them, not in the traditional sense like we do, but there are websites set up. These are like legit, secure websites set up specifically for the prison system. And different prisons in different states have, different platforms for this. I know like the website Offender Connect is a very popular one, but again, every prison or every state has different ones. Some use Securus, JPay. These are all just websites that I've had to use to correspond with an inmate. So when you do find a profile that you want to write to, a lot of times, there'll be like a little link that says email, and you just click on it and it'll direct you to the website that corresponds with that prison. They're free. It doesn't cost you any money to set it up. They're secure. The inmate does not get your information. They get your name. That is it. So you're okay. If you want to write a letter, then you write a letter. When you do, or if you do write a letter, if you decide to keep, corresponding with that particular inmate, you can ask them, is there what website corresponds with your facility, so that maybe we can email. They'll be able to tell you. So, you find an inmate you want to write to, and you're like, well, is it safe? Here's the thing. You find a guy on Match.com. So what do? You guys start corresponding. You're texting, you're talking to each other on the phone. Well, at that point, he's got your phone number. Okay, so, you just jump right into it. Then you guys meet for coffee or dinner or a drink. So now you're face to face with this guy. This guy could be a whack job. He could kidnap you right there. Okay? In my twisted opinion, I think it's safer to correspond with an inmate. He's locked up. He can't get to you. Okay? Again, I've been doing this for a long time. I have never had a guy in prison like stalking me or like creeping on me or threatening to come out and kill me. I'm not saying it wouldn't happen. I've just never had it happen. And most of the women that I've run into, or women who belong to my prison group on Facebook, same thing. Um, you know, I I mean, here's the thing: you meet these guys online through like Tinder and these other websites. How do you know? Like, how do you know who they are? Now, writing an inmate, you know, you can do some things that can tell you more about them. For example, we'll use the state of Ohio. That's where the guy I correspond with is. You find a profile online on, let's say, writeaprisoner.com, and his name is Larry Jones, and it says he's in for burglary. You just go in and punch in Department of Corrections, Ohio, or Department of Corrections, wherever he's at. Okay. Depending on the state, depending on the prison, a lot of them don't put up the inmate's profile, but a lot of them do. For like Ohio, you get their whole life story right there on the Department of Corrections website. You go on the link that says offender search, you put in their name, their mugshot pops up, and their criminal history of why they are in that prison at that particular time. It may not list their entire criminal record, but at least it will tell you why they are currently locked up. So that's where I start. I'm like, let me make sure this guy really is just in for burglary and he's not like the long lost serial killer that everybody's been looking for. So I start with that. If I can find that information about him on his particular state's Department of Corrections website. The second thing you might want to do, for a few dollars, you can get one of those quick little background check things online, peoplefinder.com or whitepages.com. You pay a few dollars and you can get a criminal background check. And then sometimes just a plain Google search on their name. There'll be like an article, a newspaper article on when they got arrested. So those are the things you can do prior to even writing somebody, if you choose to do that. So that's, to me, my opinion, it's safer to write somebody who's locked up. That's just me, though. Now, whether you write them or you email them, like I said, when you email, they don't have anything on you except your name. And if you can do that, great. Okay, good for you. But if you want to write them a letter, let's talk about that. I know that I was watching one video on YouTube about this young girl. You could tell she was new, to the prison system just by things she was saying and things that happened to her. Felt bad for her. But, when you write a letter, you put your return address on the envelope. And she was saying, I don't think that's safe. I think they probably, use our addresses and trade them for commissary, because it happened to her. She sent a letter and a picture of herself. I guess the inmate wasn't interested, didn't even write her back, and then gave away her information for another inmate to write her. So it was a slap in the face. I mean, but hey, maybe the other guy's a lot nicer, right? I've never had that happen. Like, to me, most inmates are thrilled to have a pen pal. So they guard your address with their life. The guy I write, okay, I'm just going to say it. He's my ex-husband. Okay. Married to him for mega years, divorced him, didn't talk to him for 13 years, and here I am talking to him again. Whole nother podcast. But he used to before we were married, when we were courting, he would tear my address off. And because he was so paranoid that someone else would get it, he would roll it all up and he ate it. Now that's love. That's love. Okay? So most inmates actually guard your information. I'm not saying they're all going to do that and they're all going to be devoted to you, but, again, these are my experiences. I feel bad for that young girl, but, not everybody's a great guy. I have also never had like a guy get out of prison and come stalk me. I just haven't. And I've written a lot of guys in prison. Um, I just never have. Now, ask me if I've ever had a stalker who was not a criminal. Yeah, I have. One was a licensed psychologist. Yeah, major stalker. Major. Had to threaten this person with their um, degree, losing their license to practice to keep them away from me. Okay. So I have no rhyme or reason for it. But again, I think it's fairly safe, at least in this, this part of the game, as far as writing somebody in prison. So, my personal opinion, um, you can check out more information on my Patreon platform. That is Everything Prison. If you go to patreon.com/Convicts Anonymous, I have several different podcasts on there. I have 90 Day Felon, which is Everything Prison. We talk about when you get released, kind of like a 1, 2, 3, 4 step process on how to stay out, how to survive the first 90 days out of prison, what the families go through on the outside while they're waiting for you to do your time. I have my 25 to Wife podcast. That is kind of like an Orange is the New Black tone. It's me and my ex-husband, and we talk about everything prison and things we've been through. Um, I have my pen pal platform coming up called Podcast Pen Pals, where I will be bringing these guys onto this platform and where people can meet them, listening to conversations that myself and these inmates are having. And then, of course, Convicts Anonymous itself is going to have its own podcast. It's a 12-step program set up to help those incarcerated now kind of go through the motions and trying to heal within, so that when they do get out, they're ready. They're ready to face the world and accept responsibility and be successful and productive members of society. So Convicts Anonymous is going to be Everything Prison, and you can find it on my Patreon platform. There is a small monthly donation. It goes to my nonprofit, which works with parolees and inmates alongside dogs. So a lot going on there. All right, well, we got through that. Writing an inmate, the beginning steps. And the next one, I'm going to talk about your first correspondence, the to-dos and the not to-dos. All right. See you guys later.